Hey guys, I know it's been a while since I posted on the blog, so I figured I would try out this video thing. So we'll see how it goes, just to give y'all an update. I started my classes, which has been super fun. I've got some really interesting classes about linguistics, which has been really good for not only my education at MSU in the US, but also for my development of the Spanish language here. Um, I'm kind of learning more the little quirks about pronouncing things and how certain words came to be and all that fun stuff. At the same time, learning some stuff about the English language that I was never taught in schools in the US. So that's also been really interesting to kind of investigate a little bit. Can I tell you guys a little bit about my classes? One of them, I have it on Mondays. It's a 4-hour class, which is a little bit of a struggle, but it's called Mother and Foreign Languages. So it talks about kind of how language came to be and the development of language, both majorly Spanish and English. So that's one of the classes where I get asked to pronounce some words, which is always fun because people in my class always look at me and ask me to say a word and then like watch my mouth to try and figure out how to say it. So that's been super cool. I don't have any classes on Tuesdays, so that's kind of nice. I get a little break. Wednesdays, I have 2 classes on Wednesdays. My first class is at 7 a.m., which is a little tough sometimes because it's pretty early for me, but the sun comes up at about 6, so it's not too hard to get up and run in. But that class is written in oral communication, so the project at the end of that class is an argumentative sort of speech, like a monologue, about an issue that we decide we want to research and talk about. So I get to spend some time thinking about that. My professor told me that I could choose something that was an issue in the US to talk about, um, since I'm not super knowledgeable about the issues in Colombia. So um, she said that would be a good thing both for me to be able to um, investigate something that means something to me and my culture, as well as for me to show people here something about United States culture that is an issue that I'm aware of that I would like to see changed. So it's kind of a win-win situation there. So that's a really fun class, besides the fact that it's early. Also on Wednesdays, I have a class called Language and Sentimental Education. The goal of that class is an autobiography, so the whole class is kind of spent doing a internal investigation about my culture or the culture. It's a really small class. There's only 7 of us in there, and 2 of us are exchange students. There's me, and then there's a girl from France. So that allows us to bring something to the class that wouldn't be there, I guess, because we get to talk about our perspective as people from different countries. So that whole class is spent talking about our individual culture, the things that mean something to us as individuals, and then the end project is an autobiography, displayed in whatever format we want. So I could write an essay, I could write a poem, whatever I want to do, a song. Somebody did a song one time, all sorts of things. So that's something that'll be really fun. Thursdays, I have a class called Significance and Feeling. It's a linguistics class that talks about the deeper part of language, so not just as a means to communicate, but sort of the significance and meaning of words and how they came to be. That class focuses a lot on the difference between what a word means and what a word means. I guess there's not a great way to explain it in English, but it's been really beneficial for me to learn a little bit more about the Spanish language and also English. English plays a little bit of a role in that one, mostly just culture-wise though. So the professors asked me about the TV show Friends, about Anderson Cooper, the reporter, and all sorts of things that are pretty well known in the American culture. So that's been fun. I get to kind of explain a little bit what we're all about up in the U.S. Fridays I also have two classes. I have the 7 a.m. communication class, and probably my favorite class is the Sound of Linguistic Signs, which is a phonetics class that has the same professor as my Monday class. He's super awesome, speaks English really well, and really likes having me in the class to be able to say different words and kind of say it with the American accent so that they can hear how we actually pronounce the words. In my class, I have also learned a lot about the English language that I was never taught, which is cool. Just like some linguistic rules that we don't get taught in school in the U.S. And so that's been a pretty fun class too. So that's what my week looks like for school stuff. I haven't really gotten to do a ton of outside of school things. I went to the zoo with another American student, James. That was pretty fun. The zoo's pretty big. I have a map somewhere that I can show you. The zoo was really cool. They had different like areas. So here's the map of how large it is. Well, this camera's weird. But they have like an Australian section. They have a section about just birds, and it was really cool. There's lots of cool animals, things that you don't necessarily see in the U.S. They had some like llamas and alpacas and some different kinds of ducks that were in the zoo there, which I thought was interesting, just because it's not something that you would see in a zoo in the U.S. necessarily. What else? I have another friend, Maddie. She's from Missouri. We're trying to plan a little trip up to Medellin or Bogota. So those are two cities up north in Colombia that we'd have to take a bus to get to, just for a weekend to kind of get to see some cool stuff. In Medellin, there's Pablo Escobar's house. So that's pretty cool. That'd be cool to see. And then up in Bogota, there's a rainbow river, or a river of 7 colors. So, I mean, we've got till December to figure it out. So, fingers crossed they'll get to go explore a little bit more. Yeah, that's what I've been up to the past while. School stuff is a little bit more difficult than I thought it would be. But I didn't expect it to be easy, so I guess that's a positive. It's been really hot, which has been a struggle, because it's not just warm outside, it's like hot and humid, and so everything, I like shower only at night because I only have cold water showers, so I've been getting used to that. It's actually turned into kind of a nice thing, because I'll be super hot and then get to jump in a cold shower, and it feels pretty good. For any of you who are worried about safety, I live in an apartment complex that is gated and has guards at the gate 24/7, so that you have to be buzzed in to the complex, so put some hard cities there. It's a pretty cool complex. There's a pool and gym and a sauna, playground. There's lots of kids running around all over the place, so that's always fun. Not really sure what else to tell you guys about. I'm pretty excited about this video thing. If I can figure out how to make it work well for me, then might be using it a little bit more often when there's some bigger stuff to update y'all about. It's a little bit easier than trying to find the words to type out. I can just talk about it to my computer screen. I do have the WhatsApp, so if you'd like to text or call me, that's what I use there. And then when I have internet, I can use FaceTime on my computer, so that is also an option if you guys want to send me messages or whatever. There's also a place to do that on the blog website. I'd love to hear what's going on with all of you guys. I know there's a lot of you that I don't get to talk to on a pretty regular basis, even when I'm in the U.S. So if there's anything going on, I'd love to hear about it. I've got my little piece of the U.S. I found some Martinelli's apple juice at the store, so I've been all about that. When I need a little taste of America, I just get some apple juice. They're U.S. grown fresh apples, so there's that. I get a little taste at home when I need to. Yeah, I don't think I really have much else to say. Thank you all for your support and your prayers and all sorts of things, good thoughts while I'm here. I really am having a great time. It's starting to go by a little bit faster, which is bittersweet because, I mean, I know that being here is a great thing for both my education and myself as a person and my relationships and all that sort of stuff. But I do miss home a little bit naturally. So that's what I've got. Thanks for listening, and let me know how you like the video thing. Bye.